Hello, everybody.
Hello, Mr. Daniel.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are we all doing now?
Very well, thank you. Yeah, fine.
Okay. So, the class is a design class. I understand that you guys have been doing some stuff on designs. But I'll just start from the scratch so that what you know before, if you hear it again, it means that you learned the correct thing. And what you did not know before, if you hear it afresh, it means that you are just learning it. So it's not bad to hear what you know before again. It just solidifies your faith or your trust in what you already know. So it means that what you know is actually correct. So um ideally I'm supposed to share a screen with you people, but right now I'm trying to install the Zoom on my. Can you hear me? Let me be sure.
Yes, you
Can you
can.
hear me? All right. So I'm trying to install the Zoom application on my desktop so I can share it. I can share my screen. So, but for now, it's not downloading yet. So we'll just do with my face for now. All right. So, design is when we are talking about design, we are. If you have your writing materials, you can write. We're talking about arranging elements. We're talking about arranging elements on an artboard in such a way that it communicates an idea. All right, so somebody says you can hear me. So we're talking about arranging elements on an artboard in such a way that it communicates an idea. So what you are doing basically in a design is to arrange elements on an artboard. An artboard is like a plain sheet of paper. An artboard is like a plain sheet of paper, and then a painter, right? You have your canvas, and then you begin to paint on it. So that's canvas. Painters call it canvas, but we designers we call it artboard. So the artboard is what we use to do our design. So it's just that white space. Any application, any software you are using. I believe some of us have used design softwares before. Any software you enter, you notice that once you enter, you see a white blank space. So that is the artboard. So whether you are on Figma, whether you're on Photoshop, whether you're on Illustrator, whether you're on Canva, whether you're on Corel Draw, wherever you are, you start with a white artboard. So that artboard, that white space is what we call an artboard. So design is basically arranging elements on the artboard in such a way that it communicates the idea that you want to pass across. So over time, people, design, people find it difficult to put design in a particular category. We don't know whether design is art. We don't know whether design is tech. We don't know whether design is science. So, but any category you put it, you just know that what you want to what you want to do is that you want to arrange elements so that they can communicate a particular idea, so they can interpret what you have in mind or what your client has in mind. So that is what you are basically doing. So design is not necessarily an art, even though it has art. An artist wants to paint something that is fine. For an artist, your goal is to make it fine. But for a designer, your goal is not necessarily to make it fine, even though you want to make it visually appealing. But your goal is to make sure that your design communicates. That's the first thing you should take note of. Your goal in design is to ensure that your design is communicating. So because if you make it fine, are we together? Okay, so let's say for fast hire, for instance, your brand colors are, I think, pink and blue, right? I think there's pink and blue. Am I correct?
It's orange.
Am I right?
It's orange.
Okay, orange, yes. Orange and blue. So if I do a design for fast tire, for instance, no matter how fine it is, if it does not have orange and blue, it's not representing the brand. Do you understand what I'm saying? So no matter how fine the design is, if it is not carrying the brand identity, is not representing that brand. So it's an entirely different thing. So design, as much as you want it to be fine. Let's say I want to do a design, for instance, and the colors that I'm most comfortable with, maybe it's gold and black. Let's say I want to do a birthday design now, and I'm more comfortable with gold and black. But it's for fast hire, so I cannot use gold and black because it is not going to represent the brand. So I have to try as much as possible to make sure that my design follows the brand guidelines. So you want something that communicates. As we get into the practicals, you understand what I'm talking about. Sometimes you want to populate the design and make it fine. So at the same time, you know that you also want to make communicate. And so that is the internal battle that goes on in the mind of designers. You want to make it visually appealing. At the same time, you want to ensure that it's communicating what it's supposed to communicate. And sometimes you have to choose communication over visual appellation. So what is that? So the things we are going to look at in this class. So I sent the class schedule. I don't know if you saw it. So I sent the class schedule. We're going to be looking at design fundamentals. What is design? I've already explained what design is. Then we're going to be going into layout and composition. At this stage, I might need to share my screen, but my laptop is still not. I've still not been able to download the Zoom application. So, but I'll just try and let me use my phone. Let me open Canva. Let me use my phone. So right now I'm going to share my screen so that I'm going to share my screen so that you guys can see what I'm doing. Can you see my screen now? So you can see my screen now. Right?
Yes, you can see it.
So I'm going to Canva. So this is the Canva. Let me open the design, for instance. I click on this. Okay, we're still coming back to this to understand the interface of Canva. But I just want to show you some design fundamentals for now. So even if I'm doing what you don't understand for now, just hold on for me. I just want to show you the fundamentals that I'm talking about. So so this is an artboard, like I said earlier. Can we see the artboard? This white space. This is the artboard I was talking about. This is where you are going to have everything you're going to have. So this is where you're going to have everything you're going to have. Let's say that I want to use, I talked about, let's go to colors now. Let's go to colors. Let's say I want to design something that has to do with fear, right? Fear is evil. Fear is evil. So I duplicate this. Fear is evil. So can we hear me now? Sorry, my network went off. Can we hear me?
Yes, we
Hello, can you
can.
still hear me? All right.
Yes.
So I was trying to show you here is evil. So we're talking about colors, psychology of color, color profile, and everything. So fear is evil. Now, when you're talking about fear, most of the times what goes on with fear is red. So the color of red usually signifies fear. It's evil. So let me also make this bold. Fear is evil. Evil. Okay. Black is okay. So fear is evil. So fear, I've decided to go with the color red because color red usually evokes that emotion of fear. So colors come with emotions too. So when you're dealing with colors, you need to understand the emotions of colors. For instance, if you are dealing with something that has to do with growth, let me show you something on Canva. You come to elements and you type growth. Growth. You type growth. You will see the things Canva will suggest to you. Uh, so growth. If you come to graphics, or let's come to photos, you will see that some of the things you are seeing here are green. They are majorly green. Let's even leave growth, for instance, and let's go to health. Health, you'll be seeing blue, then you'll be seeing green, blue, red, green, blue, red. So those are majorly the colors. So it comes with an emotion. So when you see something that has to do with blue, it has to do with red and green, it's telling you about growth, it's telling you about health, it's telling you about some of those kind of things. So colors too come with emotion. So if I type fear, for instance, I type fear, for instance, fear is usually red and all of those things. So, but we'll get into that. So that is what I just want to show us. Colors come with emotions too. When you want to design for brands and all of those things, so you have to understand the emotions of colors. So we have red that is talking about you have red that is talking about, let me stop to share my screen for now. So you have red that is talking about fear, danger. You have yellow that is talking about so you have yellow that is talking about warmth. So basically those are the things that you need to understand. So, but what I want us to pay attention to very well in these fundamentals of design is layout and composition. So layout and composition. Are we together?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen again to show you what layout and composition is about. So when you come here, when you come to this artboard, think about this artboard like your room, right? Think about it like your room. If you have if you have you have, let's say this is 10 kg, right? This is 10 kg. You have another one here. You have another one here, right? or let me say this. Now, you have not maximized this artboard effectively, in the sense that the left side is, let me show you what I'm talking about. This is, let me use black first, or let me use gray. So, do you see that the white side is overcrowded? Can you see that the white side is overcrowded?
Yes.
And meanwhile, the gray panel is somehow empty. So
Yes.
this is not achieving a visual balance. There's something we call visual balance. So visual balance is arranging elements in such a way that one side is not overcrowded and another side is empty. So you want to achieve a visual balance. So how do we achieve visual balance here? We can take this here, right? Take this here, right? Bring this here. And then put this here. Can we see? So
yes.
vertically and horizontally, they are divided equally. If I put a line here, so if I put that line here, see that vertically, they are divided equally. Horizontally, they are divided equally. So this is, we have gone into layout and composition now. We've gone into layout and composition now. So this is artboard now. There's what we call arranging elements on an artboard relative to artboard. I wish I could do this on my laptop. Please, can somebody allow Mr. Richard to let my laptop in so that I've downloaded the app now. So if you can let my laptop in and allow me share screen from my laptop and my face from my.
Mr. Richard, let me share this screen. Yes.
Okay, I can see you.
Yes.
Let me tell him that. Trying to connect my laptop. Okay.
Recording in progress.
Okay. What I'll do is I'll stop sharing from here. Let me mute myself. Okay, can we hear me?
Yes, I can hear
Yes,
you, but
yes.
there's echo.
It's echoing, right?
Yes, it is.
How do I solve this now? I've muted myself on my laptop. Please, somebody should help me contact Mr. Richard.
We have.
Daniel, all is good now, Abi.
Yes, my voice is echoing, but I've muted my laptop and I'm connecting with my phone. I'm just sharing the screen from my laptop.
Okay, so I know the so mute your system volume, take it to 0.
I've already muted it.
So your system volume, yes, you've muted it. So okay, you've muted, and still your volume, still take it to 0.
I should take my phone volume to
Muting is
0.
for your voice. The volume now is for you when you're talking with your phone, so that it will not be coming out from your system. So when you take the system volume to 0, it will stop echoing.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. And it's not, is it still echoing?
No,
I
it's
don't.
not.
It's echoing now.
Okay, it's it.
What will I do now?
Are you still hearing the echo, Daniel?
Yeah, I can hear the echo. Okay, I can hear.
Yes.
Okay.
I can
You
hear
should
the
have
echo anyway.
stopped. Once you do that, it will stop the echo.
So we can all see my screen.
Yes, I can see
Can we
your
all see my
screen.
screen?
Yes.
Okay, I think I'm going to mute myself. Can you hear me now? Can we all hear me?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
But it's not echoing anymore, right?
Yes, it's not.
Okay, fine. Let's continue. So what I was trying to explain basically is that when you open your artboard like this, so you begin to see that the left side is left side is balanced with the right side. So this is what we call visual balance. What we call visual balance. So you are trying to achieve visual balance. So So you are trying to achieve visual balance by this arrangement. So now this is your artboard. Now this is relative to artboard, right? Can we hear me? So this is arrangement of elements relative to artboard. Relative to artboard. Arrangement of elements. No, we've started by defining design, right? We said design is arranging elements on an artboard in such a way that it attains visual balance and it communicates an idea, right? So this is arranging elements according to artboard, relative to artboard, right? So can you hear me?
Yes, yes,
Yes.
we can.
All right. So you are arranging these elements relative to this artboard, right? You are arranging the elements relative to this artboard. Now, there's what we call arranging elements relative to each other. All right. You know, you can have these elements, right? This one like this, relative to this, relative to is, so can we see? I have one here. I have one element here. I have one element here, right? Well, I have three here. I have one here, one here, another one here, right? For this one, this one is big, having one big one. Do we see what I have done? Can we see what I have done? Do we see what I did here?
Yes. Yes.
So this is arranging elements relative. All right. So in this kind of arrangement, there are different kind of arrangements that we have. There is nesting, there is trees, right? So we're going to, yeah. So this is relative to elements, right? So you can also arrange these elements in a parent-child relationship. You can have it in form of a parent-child relationship. Here you have this university. You have this giving birth to this. You have this giving birth to this. Right? Let's do it. Yeah. So do we see? Can we see? So this is a parent-child relationship. This is like a tree kind of arrangement. So you also have nesting and you have all those kind of arrangements like that. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right. So these are the things that you do when you are trying to arrange elements. Now, you notice that this side, like, right, is one of these elements is bigger than. But at the end of the day, you can say that it is balanced because it's like having 30 kg. It's like having 30 kg on the left, 30 kg on the left, right? I'm talking about the weight now. Like having 30 kg on the left and having 10 times 3 kg or 10 kg times 3. Do you understand my point? So at the end of the day, it's not necessarily about having the same number of elements on either side of the artwork. It's about having a balance. Do you understand my point? It's about achieving a balance. So that balance is what you are trying to achieve. So by the time we get into some of these things, you understand what I'm talking about. So let me go to okay. All right. So let's proceed. I was trying to get the document for us. Let's proceed. Um, so talk about arranging the elements relative to artboard. Relative to artboard is what we did here in terms of artboard. Then relative to other elements, then you now have the trees, the family nesting. Then you have this is the family arrangement. You have the trees. You have the nested arrangement. So those are all of the arrangements that we are talking about. Then
Sorry, Macedonia. Sorry, you said arranging element related to our
relative to artboard.
bond.
Yes. Now this is what I mean. You know these elements, right? Let me let me show you something. Do you see these four elements? Do you see how they are arranged?
Yes, I'm saying that.
This is arranging elements relative to other elements.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
But and even this one too, right? But relative to artboard now is when I now add now all of these now.
Okay.
So yeah. So at the end of the day, see that there are different kinds of arrangements going on this design.
Yes.
One, you are trying to maximize the artboard, right?
Yes.
Maximize the artboard, everything here on the artboard. The other is that you are trying to maximize, you're trying to arrange these ones relative to each other because they are related. If there's a relationship, now we will still get there. There's a relationship between these elements, right?
Okay.
There's a relationship between these elements. That's why they are arranged together. Let me give you an instance. Let me give you an instance. Let's say you are doing a design. You come to social media handles. Let's say Instagram, right?
Okay.
Come to Instagram. Then you need to add the handle. Let's add Instagram handle is add. Yeah. Do you see this arrangement?
Yes, please.
This is arranging elements relative to other elements. This is not arranging it relative to artboard. You get the point I'm making?
Yes.
And so if I group it now, I copy it, go up here, paste it here. This is what I'm talking about. This is arranging elements relative to other elements because they have a relationship with each other. You understand?
Yes.
Because they have a relationship with each other. So that's um, that is about that.
Thank you.
Then let us proceed to other things. So let's go to typography. Now I need all of us to pay attention to typography because just like colors have emotions, typography also have emotions. Okay, so if I come to typography, I write serious. Let's type serious. And then I use this font. I use aesthetic beauty, right? And then I type serious. Size. What size? All right. All right. So between these two fonts, right? Which one do you think is communicating what I intended? Huh?
I think the second one.
Huh?
The second one.
Second one, right? Because this is more serious than this. Okay. So in font classification, fonts are basically classified into uh, serif and segments. Serif, script. These are the two basic classification of fonts. Are we together?
Yes, please. Stay.
32 major classification. Then in serif, so let me talk about serif before I move ahead. Serif fonts are basically official fonts, like official fonts. Let me talk about the types of serif we have before I tell us the difference. So we have serif. Let me do this. Have sans serif. Have sans serif. Sans. Objects. All together?
Yes, please.
All right, so here is sans serif. So serifs generally are fonts that have protruding edges. The reason they are called serifs is because they have protruding edges. Let me use Polo circle. That's what I'm talking about. Can we see? Can we see that edge?
I can see the edge, the X.
Yeah, can you see the edge? I'm trying to highlight something for you.
Yes.
You have proceeding. That's what you so, but then we now have this categorization. Sans, they are basically clean, right? They are clean. They they have fine edges. But for slab, they have thick edges. Can you see their thick edges? Can you see the thick edges for slab? So while this one is curved, this one has straight thick edges. That's why they are called slab serif. Meanwhile, these ones are called sans serif because they have clean edges. They have clean edges. So yeah, all of this have clean edges and all of this. So see the edge is clean. This one is thick. So those are serif fonts. Now let me also show you the different categorization. This sans serif. So now I've shown you the categorization of serif. Now let us go to sans serif. And I'll explain what they are basically used for. Sans serif are good for body copy.
Mr. Daniel, could you repeat what you just said? Answer
Okay.
are good for.
What do you say?
Okay, we're writing. Oh, you're writing it down.
I can't hear you clearly.
Okay, I mean you said it, so you're writing it now, so that's why I said no problem.
I still didn't hear that though.
You were saying sans serif is good for, but I now realized that we're writing it.
Yeah, I'm writing it. I'm writing. I'm trying to write everything so that by the time you go through the video, because this is, I believe this is still being recorded. So body copy, there's what we call body copy. What we call body copy is you have, let me go online and check for, check for the Gibson. So let me just do this. So what we call body copy. Body copy is a paragraph of text. All right. Body copy is a paragraph of text. So this is it. Yeah. Can you see?
Yes, please.
So you are designing a book, for instance. These are the kind of fonts you use to write the text. Now, imagine that I use Alpha. How is it? Good or bad?
Not good.
Not good, right?
Yeah.
Now, imagine that I even now say this one.
Terrible.
Eh?
It's not so good. Not good at all.
This one is terrible, right?
Yeah.
So those are the things. That's why, as a rule, self, you're not even allowed to write a body copy with scripting fonts. You understand? You're not allowed to write a body copy with scripting fonts because nobody can read it. Slab serif, you can still manage. At least you can still read it, but it's cumbersome, right? It's cumbersome, stressing the eye. But the best is what? Sans serif. All right. So by practice, you will learn more and more how to combine fonts. Then let's say that I want to do. Now we have done that. Let's do wedding solemnization, right? This is a title, right? Now this is good. This is legible, right? This is legible, but it's too serious, isn't it?
It says that it's not fine.
You say what?
It says it's too serious and it's not fine like this.
Aha. So I come here. The same this thing I used the other time. I change this. Yeah. See that this one is better, isn't it? Because we are dealing with a title. So even if I still now come and I say this one is too, it's still too, and I do this. This one is better, right?
This one is better.
It's better, but it's not still giving.
It's still not giving. But I'm saying that they are all of the same family. So you use scripting fonts generally for titles, right? Titles and invitations. That's what you use scripting fonts generally for. Titles and invitations. Okay. So basically those are the two basic categorizations. There's three basic now. There are two, but three. Because for serif, you talk about the sans serif and the slab. Then here you now talk about the scripts, which are used usually for headings and titles. Okay. So let's go to font pairing. Compare serif and serif. Compare serif and script. Let's say I want to write my name. Decided to do this. So yeah, these are how you learn. You can pair a script and sans serif. You can equally pair a sans serif and a slab serif. Let me do another pairing and see, and then you see what I'm talking about. So these are how you pair fonts so that they can create contrast. Now the reason you pair fonts is to create contrast. Don't forget to create contrast. We still have a long way to go. Are we together?
Yes,
sir.
please.
You are trying to create a contrast by pairing fonts. So pair fonts, pair fonts, contrast. Now contrast is wide. It's part of the things we need to cover in fundamentals. Contrast is wide, like it's broad. So because there's contrast in fonts, there's contrast in typography, there's contrast in colors, there's contrast in usually those two, typography and color. Do you understand? So and with time you will understand uh, how best to achieve it. Let me look for some of the designs I've done before. To explain to you what contrast means. I did this for one brand. Can we see? Can we see?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm using I used one font all through this design. I used just one font all through this design. The font is railway font. It's a sans serif. Now you can see drive your dreams forward, right? I was
Yes.
able to vary font weight. We have a lot to cover. There's also what we call to pair fonts to create contrast. There's also what we call font weight. Font pairing. Font pairing. Right? This is different fonts. Different. There's what we call very font weight and sizes. Case of same typeface. Same font. Very font weight, typefaces. I'm going to explain what typefaces means and sizes. You understand? So the typeface. Now, this is bold, right? Drive your dreams is bold, isn't it? Get instant
Yes,
cash.
it is.
Get instant cash by using your car as collateral. It's semi-bold. Okay? Quick approval, flexible terms, get as high as 30 million, zero paperwork. This is regular, right? This is regular. So you begin to pair because as a rule also you shouldn't have more than how you show that you have mastered the use of fonts is that you can use one font to do one design. You don't necessarily have to use plenty fonts because even brands they have their fonts. So they have their typeface. What they want you to use is just to vary the font weight, vary the style, and use color to create contrast. So when you start entering into brand designs, you know that you cannot just use anyhow brand design for people. So those are let me so let's work on this. This is what I'm talking about. Varying typeface, varying font weights, typefaces, yeah, sizes. So, size. Can we see what I did? Same font, right? Different
Okay.
font, right? Different font weights, different style. This is italicized, this is straight, this is full, this is not full. I can use this. I'll come here. So, instead of bold, I use medium for it. And you see, that's how you get those things to create. Now your aim is to create what? Contrast. I don't want to open Photoshop to show us what I'm talking about. But imagine that everything here is all gold. No, it's not make for like somebody who is upcoming can do that, but it shows professionalism when you can create contrast between your elements. You understand? So I'm going to enter into all of that. My time will start entering into practicals. So for contrast again, let's say I'm doing this design. Can we see what I'm doing?
Yes, please.
All right. So you can also have contrast between two colors. Now I was using pink, right? This is still pink, right? It's still pink. But this is still pink as well. Can you see what I'm doing? Have we seen what I did? Same color, different different tints. I have many things to guys. All right. So let's go to color. Let's get back to color. Are we clear with fonts?
Yes. I'm clear with none of all that.
All right. So let's get back to color. Now this is color. Uh, Basically, I want to show us that you can add color psychology, color. I've talked about color psychology before. So color profile. There are two basic color profile when you're designing. There's what we call MYK. How many of us have heard of CMYK before? Those of us that did color in school, fine arts, CMYK. We've heard of RGB, right? It's our color profiles. Are you with me?
Yes.
This K, I've forgotten what the K means. I'll find out later. Right. Okay. Are we together?
The K is key black.
Huh?
The K is key or black.
It's what?
Key. The K.
Uh, all right. So, so when you hear CMYK, just think print. Okay? When you hear CMYK, think print. Okay? When you hear RGB, think screen. All right? Do you understand? These are the major things you need to understand. These are the two color profiles we have. Are we together?
Yes,
Are you here?
please.
Okay. CMYK, think print. RGB, think screen. Okay? So, because when you start designing, you'll be designing so that when you're designing for screen, you use the RGB color profile. But when you're designing for print, you use the CMYK color profile because most of the printers have used this CMYK. Most of the printers will have used CMYK color profile. So that you will not design on RGB. When you now take it for print, they print it. Have you printed something before and then the colors change automatically from what you designed? Okay. I don't know if some of that is done. You design something,
Yes. What I ordered for versus what I did not get.
uh, you design something on screen, it's showing you one very beautiful color. You take it for print,
Another call.
YK. Your screen is using RGB. That's that. Um, then we talk about color contrasting. Color contrasting. You contrast colors, you can add different colors to create contrast. This is creating a contrast. Imagine that I'm writing here and I write color contrast. Color. Color. This one is still living good. Let's use this. Or I use this. So which one has a better contrast? Which one has a better contrast? Can you hear me?
Yeah, the second one has a better contrast.
Okay. Yeah, the second one has a better contrast. So, but there are times where you don't need sharp contrast, you need close contrast so that you can, for visual, so that you can make it visually appealing, you need close contrast. Show us 998. You can see this design. I use this color. If I wanted close contrast. That's why I use this Oreb, the Oreb experience. That's why I use this color. So, but I could easily have used red or something. But sometimes you need close contrast to create harmony. So that one. It is better design. I use better design. So get to learn all of this, how to make your designs in visual harmony. Because colors play a major role in visual harmony. So you see all of this, how I use close colors of close contrast to create a perfect visual harmony. So like that. I did this for somebody. I just use colors of close contrast. Sometimes you need sharp contrast, sometimes you need close contrast. So that's basically what I'm saying.
Okay.
So yeah, color. Talked about color. Talked about font. Talked about assets. I think assets will be the last thing I will do today, but I'm already getting tired. Assets are external files ported. External files imported into your work, right? So this includes logo, images, vectors, icons. You understand? So external files imported into your workspace. Make sure that your assets are in high resolution. Okay. So, any question? Any question?
Yes, I have a question.
Huh?
Yes, please, I have a question.
All right. Proceed.
Yeah, the particular banner you showed us, it seems like you stick with two colors, like no more than how many colors? What's like the ID colors?
I hear you clearly.
ID co What's the ID colors? Like how many colors should one use when designing? So you
Okay.
don't have colorations or
Okay. So that's an awesome question. So for everything, right? For everything that you are going to be using, for everything that you are going to be using, make them maximum of 3. Maximum of 3 major, uh, major. Okay?
okay.
Maximum of 3 major. What are that? Yeah. Maximum of 3 major colors. You understand? Why I said maximum of 3 majors? How many colors are here? Um, let's identify the colors.
Blue, yellow, and white.
Dark blue, light blue, white, yellow. So the major colors here are what? 3. Blue,
3,
yellow,
yes.
blue, yellow, white. So that's why I said maximum 3. How many fonts are here? Papers,
3,
papers,
yes.
2 major. Except this font logo. Our logo's fonts. I don't know which font is that. So let's say 3 for 2 major, 1 minor font. Okay. So follow that rule. How many fonts are here? 3. How many colors are here, by the way? You have, right? You have brown, you have white, black, brown, white, black. Majorly. So how many fonts are here? You have Trajan, you have Cinzel, you have descriptive font, and then you have railway font. So 3 major fonts. You understand?
3 fonts.
Yes,
1, 2.
3 major fonts. How many fonts are here? 2 major fonts. 2. You have Glacier Indifference for the logo, you have railway for the other stuff. And how many colors are here? Majorly 3. You have blue, gold, and then the image color. So blue, gold, and the image color. Because white, we don't really count white. Most times we don't really count white as a color because white and black are neutral colors. White and black are not
Okay.
colors. You understand? White and black are not
Okay. Okay.
because look at this. I wanted to show you this. If you add white, if you are moving like this, you're adding white to this color, right?
It,
The color disappears, right?
yes.
When you add black to it, color also disappears. So white, complete white is the absence of darkness. Complete black is the absence of light. Absence of darkness. Maximum light. Absence of light. Maximum light. Absence of light. So for any color you see, this is what we call tint. So most of you say use different shade of blue, right? Have you heard of people say use different shade of blue? It's not really different shade of blue is not necessarily correct. Because sometimes what you have is not a shade. What you have is actually a tint. Look at this color, right? If I take it down here, it's lighter, isn't it? I'm adding a tint. This is adding a tint to the color. Tinting the color, right? This is me shading the color. You are shading it, you are tinting it. So if you tint it all the way, the color disappears. Shade it all the way, the color also disappears. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Any more questions? Any more? No more. All right. So assignment for tomorrow. You don't have a Canva account, open a Canva account, download Canva, and just navigate the interface. Tomorrow we'll enter into it. Okay?
I did not hear you. Sorry.
Assignment. If you don't have Canva, download Canva, register your account, then try to navigate it. That's just the assignment.